All right, so let's talk about assignment number 3, which is really where everything has been building with assignment 1 through assignment 2. So think of the Stanton text, his TED Talk, think of his unifying 2+2, the spine, think about Frederick Douglass's excerpt, and the goal would be those are mentor texts. And last week for assignment 2, you were looking at I'm going to create at least 300 words of a draft to try to get some ideas down, maybe try some descriptive writing to push myself to slow down so I don't have to think about turning in the whole 900 words. Could I focus on an event, try to flesh it out, use some dialogue? Look at my comments on that 300 words or more, whatever you turned in. Maybe there is an issue with the formatting of dialogue, or maybe it needed some tightening. So look through my comments, and remember, we're still in the draft stage. So that was like a preliminary draft. Now we're on to another draft, a full draft. So in order to get full credit, it has to be at least 900 words, and it has to be a complete narrative essay. In this case, you have to have, this would be the basics, an introduction, body paragraphs that are the narrative, the story, with description and dialogue, and then a conclusion. So hopefully by looking at the assignment from last week, my comments plus what you wrote for 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're starting to see the connections between Stanton's TED Talk, Frederick Douglass's excerpt as mentor text for you to then plan, think about, and apply to the narrative essay that you write. So you can kind of see the thread from week to week. But let's talk about introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. So it's called a narrative essay. So it's really a combination of those two things. Narrative is story, essay is explain. So if you think about it that way, the essay part of it is introduction, conclusion. The story part of it is the meat in the middle, the body paragraphs. That's where you're gonna tell the story, use dialogue, use descriptive language, do things that you would see like in a novel, a short story. In your introduction and conclusion, it's going to look like an essay. So provide the context in the introduction for the reader to be able to understand a few things. Number one, situate them somehow in the story, give them the background. If you say, you went to school that day, you're probably going to need to provide how old are you, right? Because people go to school in a wide range of ages. Is it elementary school? Is it third grade? Is it high school? Is it your first day of college? How old are you? And where? So can I flesh out the setting a little bit? Can I give the context of what the essential conflict might be? Can I give some of the background information that'll help the reader kind of understand my story better and get situated in it before I begin it? You also want to talk about what the takeaway should be. What did you learn from the experience? And that should be in the conclusion too. So if you look back at last week's assignment number 4, it's kind of pushing you to try to think about, okay, I want to tell this story. I think there's something here that I've learned or that's meaningful for me. What is that meaning? What is that takeaway? Put that in the introduction and the conclusion. Meanwhile, in the meat of it, you're going to be telling the story. Okay? So I look forward to reading your submissions this week. Just remember, for assignment number 3, for you to get full credit, it has to be at least 900 words, and it has to be complete, which means introduction, body paragraph, story, and a conclusion. All right? So remember, reach out, raise your hand if you have any questions. Otherwise, I look forward to reading your work.